Albert Einstein was a German-born physicist. He is justly famous for developing the famous general theory of relativity. Furthermore, he is one of the most influential and greatest scientists of the 20th century. On November 9, 1922, Einstein was named the winner of the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics for his services to theoretical physics, and especially for his discovery of the law of the photoelectric effect. Today, calling somebody Einstein is synonymous with genius. So, what makes a genius a genius? On April 17, 1955, Einstein experienced internal bleeding caused by the rupture of an abdominal aortic aneurysm. On the 18th of April 1955 he died in Princeton Hospital, New Jersey. He was 76 years old. On April 20th, his body was cremated in strict privacy at the Ewing Cemetery and Crematorium in West Trenton, New Jersey. But what happened to his brain? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most interesting channel. Thomas Stoltz Harvey was an American pathologist who conducted the autopsy on Albert Einstein. During the autopsy, he kept the brain aside without the permission of his family, in the hope that the neuroscience of the future would be able to discover what made Einstein so intelligent. Harvey removed and weighed the brain at 1,230 grams. He took 14 photographs of the whole brain from many angles and dissected the brain into about 240 blocks, each about 1 cubic centimeter. Harvey later kept Einstein's brain without permission for decades. In 1978, Einstein's brain was rediscovered in Harvey's possession by journalist Stephen Levy. The brain of Albert Einstein has been a subject of much research and speculation. His apparent regularities or irregularities in the brain have been used to support various ideas about correlations in neuroanatomy with general or mathematical intelligence. Studies have suggested an increased number of glial cells in Einstein's brain. Harvey had reported that Einstein had no parietal operculum in either hemisphere, but this finding has been disputed. Photographs of the brain show an enlarged Sylvian fissure. In 1999, further analysis by a team at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario revealed that his parietal operculum region in the inferior frontal gyrus in the frontal lobe of the brain was vacant. Also absent was part of a bordering region called the lateral sulcus, Sylvian fissure. Researchers at McMaster University speculated that the vacancy may have enabled neurons in this part of his brain to communicate better. This unusual brain anatomy may explain why Einstein thought the way he did. Einstein himself claimed that he thought visually rather than verbally. Glial cells. In the 1980s, University of California, Berkeley professor Marion Diamond received 4 sections of Albert Einstein's brain from Thomas Harvey. In 1984, Marion Diamond and her associates were the first ever to publish research on the brain of Albert Einstein, on the brain of a scientist, Albert Einstein. Einstein's brain had more glial cells relative to neurons in all areas studied, but only in the left inferior parietal area was the difference statistically significant. This area is part of the association cortex, regions of the brain responsible for incorporating and synthesizing information from multiple other brain regions. A stimulating environment can increase the proportion of glial cells, and the high ratio could possibly result from Einstein's life studying stimulating scientific problems. Hippocampus. Dr. Dalia Zadel of the University of California, Los Angeles, examined 2 slices of Albert Einstein's brain containing the hippocampus in 2001. The hippocampus is a subcortical brain structure that plays an important role in learning and memory. The neurons on the left side of the hippocampus were found to be significantly larger than those on the right, and when compared with normal brain slices of the same area in ordinary people, there was only minimal, inconsistent asymmetry in this area. The larger neurons in the left hippocampus, Zadel noted, imply that Einstein's left brain may have had stronger nerve cell connections between the hippocampus and another part of the brain called the neocortex than his right. The neocortex is where detailed, logical, analytical and innovative thinking takes place, Zadel noted in a prepared statement. Stronger connection between brain hemispheres. A study published in the journal Brain in September 2013 analyzed Einstein's corpus callosum, a large bundle of fibers that connects the 2 cerebral hemispheres and facilitates interhemispheric communication in the brain. Einstein's corpus callosum was compared to 2 sample groups, 15 brains of elderly people and 52 brains from people aged 26. Einstein was 26 in 1905, his annus mirabilis, miracle year. The findings show that Einstein had more extensive connections between certain parts of his cerebral hemispheres compared to both younger and older control group brains. A study, The Cerebral Cortex of Albert Einstein, a description and preliminary analysis of unpublished photographs, was published on November 16, 2012, in the journal Brain. Dean Falk led the study and described the brain. Although the overall size and asymmetrical shape of Einstein's brain were normal, the prefrontal, somatosensory, primary motor, parietal, temporal and occipital cortices were extraordinary. The primary somatosensory and motor cortices near the regions that typically represent face and tongue are greatly expanded in the left hemisphere. There was a fourth ridge, apart from the three normal people have, in Einstein's midfrontal lobe involved in making plans and working memory. The parietal lobes were markedly asymmetrical, and a feature in Einstein's primary motor cortex may have been associated with his musical ability. They may have provided some of the neurological underpinnings for his visuospatial and mathematical skills. The only permanent place the public can see pieces of the brain that changed the world is at the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia.